afternoon. Welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to our new subscribers. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for your time that you take out of your busy day in life to come check out and support our Hope for Survival YouTube page. You can also find us at hopeforsurvival.com. That's our website where we post weekly newsletters with an assortment of thoughts and preparedness items. You can check it out. I typically post the newsletter on Fridays around 5 o'clock Eastern Time, if everything works out well. And we've posted 200, and this week will be 279 newsletters weekly, and there's a total of probably 700 items of all types of preparedness articles, information, and so forth to help you out. So anyway, thank you for being here. It's been a little chaotic in the first week of retirement. One of the things that kind of drove me to retirement was the road time, driving back and forth to my day job weekly, there and back. And funny enough, in the first week of retirement, Miss Lucy reminded me that I had driven about 16 hours this week to different locations: Waynesville, North Carolina, the Cumberland Plateau in Tennessee, and a trip or two to West Knoxville for some family things, and then a quick trip to West Virginia this weekend for a surprise birthday party for my sister, which turned out to be retirement surprise dinner cake number 3. So all surprises. And I truly am blessed to receive these things as part of my retirement. And then this past Saturday evening, 6 of our dear neighbors, brothers and sisters who are in Hope for Survival as well, Miss Lucy was working behind the scenes with one of our dear sisters to arrange it. I was absolutely, totally surprised, had no clue. But anyway, we all met for dinner and a nice evening together, and a retirement cake again, and again honored. And the blessing was just getting to spend some time together, breaking bread in a nice, relaxing environment. So thanks to everyone for that. And then I was at a neighborhood meeting last evening, about an hour after getting back from West Virginia, and one of our dear Patriots sisters in Hope for Survival had arranged through a family member to send a retirement box, if you will, and a beautiful card and inscription for retirement. And the box had something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's her canned preserves, ginger peach and peach pecan jalapeno. Several of these jars. Thank you very much. And one thing for sure, you know that these will not go to waste. uh, I won't waste your time telling you the story on the peach pecan jalapeno, but uh, she has quite the recipe uh, for recreating uh, this item from a jar I had years ago from Stuckey's, I believe it was, that was gifted to us from another neighbor. But thanks to a dear sister for this effort and your kindness to share. Love you for your efforts, and just for the person that that you are. Thank you. So this video is going to be a little different. I'm not going to sit and tell you all the negative and terrible things that are going on around our country. This is kind of a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and it's about fellow man and our citizens. And it is about obeying Scripture, but it's also about humanity and doing things that we need to do because it's the right thing to do for fellow man and those around us that we know and maybe we don't know. Um, what am I talking about? I want to tell you a story real quick that will kind of paint the picture a little bit. Um, I know a person. I'm not going to share a great bit of detail because the point here is not to cast embarrassment on anyone. It's not my point. Um, it is simply that people around us are being left behind. And many of them are suffering, and many of them are doing without, even though they do everything the right way. They play by the rules, and they're simply being forgotten. Okay, the system is failing them, and the list of people, the people who are in this category, the list is growing, and it may be you, it may be someone you know, a family member, a friend, or it may be a total stranger around you. Okay, I know a person who is 65 years old, who is 100% disabled, can't work, who lives in conditions that oftentimes, as a preparer, we think about being totally off grid, with no running water, no septic as we know it. Their water is collected as rainwater that goes in a tank and a cistern, then processes, and the person can pull water into their house from that means. Um, they garden to help support their food needs. Okay. Um, this person has gone to the state for support to receive aid, and they get $13 a month. That's 1 3. a month to cover electricity, anything of that nature that they have to pay out of pocket for. $13. Okay. They pretty much freeze in the wintertime. They have a small wood burner stove that they can put out some heat. Of course, there's always a concern based on the conditions of fire, as may be the case for many people. And to be perfectly honest with you, if it wasn't for individuals around this person providing support, they could not survive. Again, this person is 65 years old. It has been a blistering summer of heat with little rain. And to try to get additional money or funds, this 65-year-old person goes out and weed eats, pushes a lawnmower cutting grass, and does other odd jobs to offset costs for utility, electric bill, and anything of that nature. Okay. There's a part of me that is angry because this is America and this is not how our system was designed to work. And when I know there are individuals who are not citizens, who never worked or paid into our system, who are getting $2,000 to $3,000 a month plus shelter provided, it's not just wrong; it's criminal. And to know that our federal and state governments are providing this, we are paying taxes, and our tax revenues are being used to pay these exorbitant paychecks out. Okay. It's simply wrong. Okay. But while these wrongs are being handed out to many of our citizens who are in need, fighting the battle to correct it is one thing. But in the meantime, these individuals need our help. Okay. And very few people know what I'm going to tell you. I have shared it with probably less than 5 people over the 5 years of Hope for Survival. It's not something that I talk about. It's a matter of just doing what's right. Okay? This is not a pat on the back to Hope for Survival. It's just kind of a call to action. Go forth and do, and just don't talk about it. Okay? So, we do a fundraiser, which covers all the costs each year for all the licensing, editing software, websites, and things of that nature. And all funds received and donations covers that. And throughout each year, as opportunity comes about and I can get it into my schedule, I would go out and teach classes and things of that nature, and would be paid for it. Okay. And other than to cover my gas and normally whoever I'm going to support provided lodging and so forth out of the kindness of their heart, any proceeds that was left Um, we didn't keep it or take it as pay, but I would use those funds to uh, do one of two things. One, I would buy uh, prepackaged buckets of either rice, beans, and things of that nature, or I would buy buckets, and as time permitted, I would buy beans and rice and wheat and pasta and things of that nature, mylar bags, and I would package bags into a 5 gallon bucket, seal it, and I would either deliver or through another brother or sister have them and take to another state and pass it off to an individual to help them out. And those proceeds that were extra above gas uh, all went to um, doing this need for helping others. The reason I'm doing this video is it's not about what Hope for Survival has been doing. It is it's a reminder, and also I'm asking all of you to be observant to those around you. Through the 5 years, the buckets that we've been able to pass out, they all went to Hope for Survival sisters or brothers and that needed help. But this is a bigger call, and this is to people around you who need help. Okay, dollars aren't matching needs. Uh, the news continues to be more negative, and it gets our attention, but getting our attention is not helping people who are buying half of what they need for twice the cost. People who are having to take food money to pay for gas to be able to go to work to get a paycheck. And things are just at the end of the month, the dollars versus needs are just not simply working out. Okay. There are absolutely no signs in the near future or long term that this is going to improve. Okay. If you watch the market, if you watch the national and global issues that are going on with crops and available resources for countries to buy, there's rumors of wars escalating. It just goes on and on and on. It's kind of a reminder back to World War II and how the citizens sacrificed in their own home to help those who were around them. Okay, and we used to see pictures from history where there were milk and cheese lines and people could go stand in line for hours to get these resources. You may see them at soup lines, but you're not going to see them now because of the EBT card, and the government simply reloads them and they go to the store and they either have money or they don't. You're not going to see people standing in line. You're simply going to see people revolting more and more. You know, there's stories of people being robbed when they come out of grocery stores with a cart of food. So much of these problems is being masked, and many people who live in comfort and they don't have needs simply they may see or hear about it in church, um, but it's happening all around, and those who are not in need often shelter away from the negativities around in a community for whatever reason that they choose. So that's on them. But what I'm saying is, if you know of someone who is in need, this goes back to the whole 5 mile radius community, serving, supporting, and helping one another through all causes. It's not just about protecting your community. In a sense, it is protecting them from starvation or other shortages that they may have. Okay, now I want to be clear, this is for people who are in need. Okay, could do a whole other video on waste, and they spend their money on this, they spend it on that. I'm not here for that. What I'm simply saying to you is, I'm asking you to be more observant in your community for those who, especially the elderly and the homes with children. No child should have to go to sleep at night hungry. Not in America. Okay, and for many years now, our education system in public schools, I think it was Cleveland, the Cleveland School District, probably 5 years ago, they were providing 100% breakfast and lunch for the children coming to school. Okay. We as citizens and patriots, and especially as Christians, for those who it may apply to, we need to do the best that we can to keep our eyes and ears open to, in some way, help. And you may not be able, you may be financially at an even point or struggling, but be comfortable enough that you can reach out to try to find help for these families and individuals. Okay. I do believe in my heart that going forward, the struggles are going to get worse. The number of children who are adults, and many are married or moving back in with their parents. Many grandparents are having to now raise their grandchildren for whatever means that the parents are not available to do this responsibility. And many seniors are set on a retirement income that did not include a plan to feed 1, 2, 3, 4 additional mouths in their home. And as most grandparents would do, many grandparents are going to go without to ensure these children are fed. Okay, and depending where you live and what community, you may have community programs that still can help some. But as in this story I shared with you, the person who was out in this blazing heat at 65 years old, weed eating ditches and around properties and pushing a lawnmower just to survive on the basics. Okay, and this individual is not a complainer or a whiner. They do what they do to survive, even through their own health issues and so forth. Okay. For any person you know, or even strangers in America, it's heartbreaking. I witnessed this in the first 20 years of my adult life in the military in third world countries, where the United States government would send plane loads of clothes and blankets and food into these third world locations where people would stand in the snow barefooted, waiting to get a pair of boots that might be on the next plane load of resources coming in. And with tears in their eyes, they would reach up and they would pat the American flag on your uniform. Okay. And now here we are 20, 30 years later, and we've always had folks in need in their country to some degree, but not to the level that we have it now. And we need to be good patrons and citizens to the best that we can to help those who are in need. Okay? And I know many of you who follow Hope for Survival YouTube, and I know you personally, and I know you have big hearts. And I know many who are retired who will drive across state lines to help others, either through physical labor, resources, and things of that nature, and God bless you. We just need to up the number of us who are being more vigilant to get out and do what we can to help our people. Okay, so thanks for listening and hearing this message. I appreciate it very much. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com. I just again say, while we're preparing for what appears to be ahead, there are many things that are already happening. They've been happening over the past months, years, couple years. And while many wait to see what comes next, just remember there are many people who are already suffering greatly because of different reasons of how a system has failed them. Okay, so keep them in your prayers. If you can't give one slice of bread, a prayer goes a long way. Okay, and keep that in mind. Okay, so again, thank you for your time. If you like this video, please hit like, and keep praying for our nation and our people. It's much needed out there. There's a lot of things that I hear and see. I don't come to you and share. It's private, but asking for prayers for our brothers and sisters doesn't cost anything, and it's not really breaking those compromises of trust between myself and those people. But I just, for you and your communities in your area, I just wanted to remind you to please be observant to the growing need for helping others. Okay? So again, share if you want to share, and if you haven't subscribed to Hope for Survival YouTube, please do so. We much appreciate it. And remember, always keep your head on a swivel, and don't forget to give thanks. And no matter how bad it may seem, we are still blessed people. So take care, and blessings to you. Braco Echo out.